I'm Ravioli. I've spent over 4 years designing schedules for the top hospital software company, Epic, and I've seen over 30 doctors for my own chronic issue. From all this, I'm gonna explain the top 3 things that you can immediately use to reduce your wait time for seeing a doctor. It often takes forever to see a doctor because the demand's going up, but the supply of doctors is going down from retirement, burnout, and on top of that, 20% of patients don't show up for their appointment. However, the large number of patients missing their appointments is actually something we can leverage. You're probably familiar with the automated calls or texts that you get to remind you of your appointment. They're designed to lower the number of patients who forget their appointment, but more importantly for us, they remind patients of an appointment that they might now need to cancel. For example, I received this reminder on May 8th for an appointment 2 days later on May 10th. However, I scheduled this sucker 5 weeks earlier, and so I forgot that I even had it and couldn't make it anymore. So I responded with a C to cancel it, and then I called them back later to reschedule. I explained this because the cancellation from my response just opened up a slot on that doctor's schedule, and that's exactly what we're gonna shoot for. This leads to the most effective way to improve your wait time, and that's calling every day until you get an earlier slot. The simplest way of doing this is you just call in the morning when the clinic opens. But if you really want to optimize your chances of improving your wait time, here's exactly what I do. When I schedule an appointment and it takes way too long to get seen, I ask them, when do you send your reminders to patients? I then add 30 to 45 minutes to that time, and that's when I call back. Because when those cancellations from the reminders come in, I want the first access to get any new open slots. For my first 2 MRIs, they said they sent the appointment reminders at 5:30. So I called back a little after 6, and I shaved off 15 days of waiting after just 2 call attempts. And if calling isn't your thing, we've got a couple other options. When scheduling your first appointment, always ask if you can be added to a wait list. This is gonna be a list of patients who, if there's ever an earlier opening, want to be contacted. The previous method of calling right after the appointment reminders are sent is actually meant to shoot the gap between that cancellation and when the wait list is contacted. In addition to asking to be added to the wait list, also ask if they send the reminders automatically or if they manually call patients themselves. If they send it automatically, look on the patient's organization page to see if they have this MyChart symbol. If they do, you're gonna wanna create an account and trigger notifications. This is because not only is MyChart my favorite thing in the healthcare space, sometimes MyChart is set up to send any new opening to multiple patients at the same time, and then it's a first come, first served basis. So if you have an account with notifications, you can jump on that new opening slot before anybody else does, whip in there, and you're good to go. And the third option is to be more flexible. With a lot of the younger generation wanting to schedule appointments themselves online, a lot of organizations have opened up online scheduling. So if there's a doctor that you can't see, look if there's other similar doctors you can schedule with, or look for another doctor on that doctor's team and try to schedule with them. For example, there was a highly rated wrist surgeon that I really wanted to see, but I couldn't get an appointment for 2 months. So instead, I went online and I found his PA I could get an appointment with in 4 days. Not only did I get to see her way faster, I now had messaging access to somebody on his team. And I got prioritized to see him as a follow-up in 2 weeks rather than waiting another 2 months for that original new patient visit. 2 other examples is for my 3rd MRI, I had to wait 16 days to be seen, but I called a completely different location every single day. After 4 days of calling, I shaved off 11 days of waiting when I got a next day appointment. Also, if you're gonna miss your appointment, please cancel the day before so other people can make it into that slot. And finally, when I schedule other tests, I change my radius to almost like an hour of a drive and any time of the day. It's way less convenient, but I often get seen in a matter of days rather than a matter of weeks. And if this sparks any questions, please ask them in the comments below. There's so much behind the scenes that I really wish I could have covered, but I wanted to keep this video short, simple, and easy to digest. Hopefully it helps. Let me know if it did.